Today we are covering the Brazilian duelist assassin, Aspas himself, on his settings and his setup, and why it makes him one of the best duelists, one of the best Jet and Raze players in the world. He just dropped 47 bomb franchise Valorant record on Sentinels last week, and this weekend he has a match coming up versus Demon One from NRG. So let's cover his settings and setups. As you can see on prosettings.net, he is rocking a 800 DPI 0.4 cents, which makes his ETPI 320, which is, I would say, on the medium to high side of things for Valorant. The medium, I would say, is 800.35, around 280-ish. And high, I would say, like something and I think Forsaken. Those two uses a very high sensitivity, but yeah, his is, I would say, around medium to high, not as low as Demon One. Demon One uses exactly half of his sensitivity, so it's 160 EDPI, which is extremely low. I know Alpha also uses 160 EDPI, so I would say Aspas is on the medium to a little high sense. And I'm not sure if he's using 4000 hertz or 2000 hertz on his G Pro X Superlight 2, but I am sure that he is using the Superlight 2 instead of Superlight 1, because here I have pictures from the Sentinels game. On stage, he was using the Superlight 2, and as you can see, the opening doesn't have the micro USB opening, it has the USB-C opening. On the micro USB Superlights, it has a little fin on both sides of the opening, and it's not rounded like this. So Superlight 2 confirmed. I'm not sure if he's on 2000 or 4000 hertz. I don't have any confirmations on that. And he has raw input buffer on and Windows sensitivity on the default 6. The raw input buffer on helps with high pulling rate mouse. So if you're using a 2000 hertz or 4000 hertz or even 8000 hertz pulling, you should have this setting on, as it helps reduce your FPS drops while using a higher pulling rate mouse or keyboard. And primarily crosshair, he uses a dot crosshair. Nothing special. He does seem to change his crosshair very often though. And I think crosshair is just, the dot is very classic. And I think on aimer maps like Breeze, you should have something really small, where on split stuff that's more compact, maps that are more compact, you can get away with using bigger crosshair. And here's his keybinds. I think he has the default binds on all of them, and we'll talk about his keyboard. He's using the Wooting 60HE in the default format. He has done zero customizations for it. As you can see in this picture here, I have his tournament bag, has the Wooting 60HE, the Superlight 2, and his mouse pad is the orange Artisan Zero. So, which I have his exact setup right here. I have the Superlight 2 in the black, I have the stock Wooting 60HE, and then I have the Artisan Zero in black. So this is the same exact setup as Aspas uses, and I can go over a little bit of a pros and cons of this setup. So let's talk about the keyboard first. Wooting 60HE, I have his settings pulled up. This is his Aspas setup settings for his Wooting 60HE. He uses all keys on 1.0 millimeters actuation point, and he has rapid trigger on for all keys, and his press and release sensitivity is on 1.0 millimeters on both. So he does not use a very fast actuation on his Wooting 60HE. He's just here to take advantage of the rapid trigger feature, I assume, and he has the tachyon mode on for optimal response time. And we can take a look at some other players. This is Demon 1 settings. He's using 0.1 on WASD, as you can see here, the fastest actuation point. But Aspas is not using something like that. So I believe he can improve his game even more with lowering his actuation point on WASD to something like even 0.2. It will allow him to actuate these keys at a much faster pace than 1.0 millimeter. He is not really taking advantage of that low actuation point on the Wooting 60HE. However, he is taking advantage of the rapid trigger feature, which we like to see. And on advanced settings, he has continuous rapid trigger off. So that is his Wooting setting. I realized all the players have to use the stock Wooting 60. I have a picture of Tens using his Wooting 60 HE also in the stock form, as I know his personal one is customized. I think Riot doesn't let them use customized keyboard or mouse, so they have to stick to the stock one. And yeah, it's a fantastic. It's probably the best keyboard for Valorant or first person shooter in general. And now let's talk about the mouse. He's using the Superlight 2. He was recently, I think last month, a month or two, he was using the Ultralight X and he switched back to the Superlight. I think that was a good decision because I've been using the Superlight 2 for a while also. It's just a very comfortable shape and you can't go wrong with it. So it performs very well. It has a very comfortable shape. It's very safe. And I have my stock feet replaced with core pads. I'm not sure if Aspas is rocking stock or core pads on his unit, but I think it doesn't matter if he's using stock or core pads. Both options are viable, but I would recommend to switch to core pads as the stock feet are very thin and likely to wear down very often. So it's a very, very safe shape, very good performance, nothing to complain, solid build quality mouse. And if you are very esports focused and you want good consistency in your games, I think there is no better mouse than the G Pro X Superlight 2. And now let's talk about his mouse pad of choice, which is the Artisan Zero in the orange version. And I think it's an Artisan Zero Soft. So I have the exact same pad here, the Artisan Zero Soft. And it's a very, very solid control pad. The slowest pad that Artisan offers. However, they're coming out with a new Type 99, which is going to be a slower pad than the Zero. And I will review that once I have that unit in hand. But the Artisan Zero, very, very good pad. For me, it's a little bit too thin at 4 millimeters of thickness. I like something along the line of 6 millimeters, like the QCK Heavy. But nonetheless, this is the pad I put in the most amount of hours in, and it's served me very well. My unit has the issue with the hair where your like some hair will get caught in the mouse pad. However, the new batch and I know the orange batch doesn't have that issue. So it's a very solid pad, very good stitching. I just wished it was a little bit slower for TAC FPS. However, it's one of the best pads to use nonetheless. And if you're looking for alternatives, I can recommend the Saturn Pro or the Artisan Type 99 when that comes out, or I'm currently maining a QCK Heavy, which I have been enjoying so far. And on the mouse, I can't recommend anything else other than a Superlight 2. Maybe when the Viper V3 Pro releases, I will test that and do a comparison video. But for now, this shape is just too comfortable and too consistent in game. And the keyboard, this is the end-game keyboard, Wooting 60 HE. Feel free to snatch one on their website. And on the monitor side, he's using the Zowie XL2566K, which is the same exact monitor I have here. I also have a review up on the channel if you want to check it out. It's 360 Hertz TN panel, ultra fast response time, and I have DIAC on. Let's see if he has DIAC on or off. Let's check his monitor settings. It looks like he is using DIAC Premium also, which is the way to go with these Zowie monitors. You want to take advantage of that DIAC feature. I know a lot of Counter-Strike players have it off because they're used to it from when they're playing growing up. They've been playing with it off, so now they're used to DIAC off. But it's definitely a good feature to enable. And if you want to check out more in detail, check out my review video on the channel. And he has AMA high. And I'm not sure how reliable these monitor settings are. And now let's take a look at his in-game video settings. He has everything on low and 1x. And I feel like for this filtering, it's good to have 4 or 8x because you can actually see clear the outlines of the characters. But he's been fragging out on 1x, so I guess it doesn't affect him at all. And he has his monitor display digital vibrance on default 50%. So that is all of his settings and his peripherals. And hope you guys enjoy the video. And let me know who I should do next. Peace.